The road was long and arduous, with trees intertwining above us, blocking out the light. We heard a faint sound behind us, but we dared not look back. We arrived at the old house, dust covering everything. The doors were wide open, as if someone had left recently. We entered the house cautiously, expecting to see anything. The mirrors were shattered, and the fireplace was stained with dried blood. A knocking sound came from outside. We stepped out to look, but found no one. We quickly returned inside and shut the door. We tried to call the police, but the phone was dead. We turned to the windows to see what was happening outside, but we saw no movement. We couldn't stay here. We decided to leave and return to the city. But when we opened the door, we found that the road had vanished. We turned back, and the house had transformed into a mass of rocks and thorns. We heard a terrifying scream coming from within. We tried to escape, but found ourselves trapped in the bedroom. As we searched for an exit, a heavy object fell onto the bed. We approached cautiously and looked down. What had been on the bed moments ago had turned into a moving skeleton. The skeleton lunged at us, and we quickly fled to the hallway. We heard footsteps coming from all directions. We reached the stairs and ran up. But when we got to the top floor, we found the stairs had disappeared. We were surrounded by terror. We had to leap from the window. We landed safely on the ground, but the house had turned into an abandoned building. We ran away from the house. But when we looked back, we saw it had completely vanished. We reached the city, which seemed deserted. The streets were empty, and the doors were closed. We heard noise coming from one of the buildings. We cautiously approached the building. We slowly opened the door and found ourselves in an abandoned factory. In one corner, we found a computer connected to strange wires. The machine powered on as we approached. On the screen, an image of the old house appeared. It seemed to be watching us. We heard a rustling sound behind us. We turned slowly, fearing what we might see. On the ground, there were decaying corpses, the remains of those who had been here before. We fled from the factory, but all the paths had vanished. Before us lay only the endless desert. We heard the sound of a tornado approaching. As we tried to escape, we were shocked to see the old house reappear, clinging to the tornado's clouds. We were nothing but easy prey for what awaited us.